Hey, I'm ElusiveKev, Mr. Cole. Welcome back to MotoGP 17 and the Manager career, as we're heading to the world famous Le Mans circuit for the Grand Prix of France. And here we are around a wet, dry Bugatti circuit. Actually, no, it is still wet, it is still damp. But we've got wet, dry conditions that are a bit similar to Assen last year in that aspect, or the Tringham Motegi. So it could be wet or dry for the race, but let's see what we can do on our qualifying effort as these conditions that MacDonald thrives in. As I did say, the world famous Le Mans circuit, but it's not the Le Mans circuit we all know and love, the Circuit de la Sarthe, which holds the 24 hours of Le Mans. This is the Bugatti circuit, a 2.6 mile, much shorter circuit. We just held the Grand Prix of France for a number of years now for the motorbikes. Notifies some good battles as well. So we go into the right-hander, which makes us turn off from the longer circuit. It was raced in with F1 as well. 50 years ago they held the French Grand Prix around here. Not many drivers liked it. But it's a bit better for bikes than cars, as you've seen over the years, as we saw this year as well with the MotoGP race, the battle between the Yamahas of Rossi and Vinales. The youngster winning it, as Rossi put it all on the line, and it cost him everything as well in that race. But it cost him also his 10th world title. Well, that remains to be seen. So it could be one of those points where he looks back at the end of the season and should have been like, I should have just taken the points. And that is something that MacDonald should have been doing in the last couple of rounds, as he's got into crashes. And has slipped down the pecking order in the Moto3 class. Even with one eye on Moto2 in the mid-season change. Everything will definitely happen now. I don't think you get the Moto3 title, MacDonald, but we will see in a couple of races time, as he does a mid 47. Didn't make too many mistakes, I would say, on that effort, but again, not quite sure how good that is, as there is the weather conditions. It is wet, actually. I thought it was wet dry, but it's actually just wet and raining, as he is off the leaderboard, of course. And around a second and a half back in its cycle, One Mir, who grabs by head of Fanati, with Canet in third, Martin in fourth, Billiger fifth, McPhee sixth, an old Italian third row. Get your drinks out again as Hotel gets the top 10. Now Bastianini, Rodrigo, Nurdin, MacDonald in 14th, so pretty good qualifying for the Scot in the end. But he's alongside Loy Alert. You've got to watch out that first chicane. We've got Vera 16th, Dinero Senti, top Peugeot runners, Kornfeld in 18th. Nisbet Mahindra is Delaporte in 20th, and our teammate doesn't like those damp conditions right at the back once again for Kumar. But let's see if we can do much better in the race. Okay, I thought it was just wet conditions, but look at how bright it is. There's actually some sun out. So again, the track could be drying during the race like we saw in Argentina maybe. We saw how MacDonald did around there, how good he is in those conditions. As Light still lined up in 14th, as looking further down the grid. There's Loy on the warm-up. I'm already getting up to his old tricks. Look at that bump in MacDonald. Says Magnum right at the back.
So the race is about to begin, and the riders know that all the hard work they put in won't mean a thing if they can't cross the finish line in one of the positions that count.
It's almost quoting Lincoln Park there, Governor Emmett. As we wait for the lights to appear and go out, as hopefully in the end all of this does matter for MacDonald, unlike the previous couple of races. It gets past Loyola and Rodrigo up into 12th. There's something that's definitely noticeable that has changed with the recent patch as well. The starts, much more competitive. Looking around the outside of Bastianini there. He's got Hotel elbow to elbow with Antonelli again. Those two are inseparable recently. As McPhee's up to 7th, head of Di Gian Antonio. Oh, it's not Hotel. He's actually in front of Antonelli. That is Di Gianantonio in front of us. In 10th, as MacDonald gets a good run into the left-hander. Looking down the inside of not just one Italian, two Italians. Nice move. There's Canet right in front of us. In 6th. Ryan McPhee. The squad having another stutter start. So here comes MacDonald looking down the inside of the German. Oh, and he eases his way past both of them. They've made that corner a bit easier against our opponents, it seems. As here's MacDonald right in the slipstream of the double champ. Aiming for 6th. Oh, he's braked very deep though. Runs right in the first part of the chicane, and all the Spaniard sweeps back. Boy. Now here comes the German Hotel. But no room at the end for him. Here comes MacDonald looking down the inside of Canet. That's a cheeky move. Canet didn't see that coming, did he, the Spaniard? It's now into the double right at the end of the lap. Oh, he's getting past the Sky Tower Riders. He round the outside up into the top 5 after the opening lap. Fantastic from MacDonald. And now he's got some slipstream for the front stretch with McPhee. He's had a stellar run as a Scot in recent races, right up there in the championship. As MacDonald did the fast lap in that open lap, no surprise. He's up into 4th. And now there's Jorge Martin in front. Behind, should I say. Up into a podium place for MacDonald. He really does love these conditions, doesn't he? With Fenati and Mir battling for the win. It's like Moto3 in real life. Except Mir often wins those, and he looks like he's winning at this moment in time as well in this race, even though MacDonald eases his way past Fenati as well, helping that Spaniard build a gap at least to the Italian. But here comes the Scot, riding angry after the previous couple of rounds. And all getting a very good run through the first part of the right hand and eases Mir wide. In the second part, takes the lead. But with the track drying, as we saw in Argentina, when the track was dry, Mir could match MacDonald pace-wise. So you've got to be careful of that. As you can see, the track is definitely drying. By the moment, MacDonald leads from Mir and Fenati. So this is the time for MacDonald to build up that gap, just like in Argentina. Once again, we've got 6 laps to do this. So again, the track may dry out, maybe very similar to Argentina actually. Just wait to feed the power on those final couple of right-handers. Got to keep the revs up as well. Don't want to just go full beans when you've had 0 revs. Very easy with the back end to get out. There's Fenati's up to 2nd in it. It's like Ed of Mears went on did the fast lap the previous lap. No surprise there. Look at that nice braking into the chicane as well. Mir back past Fenati for 2nd. Of course, we're chasing Canet in the championship as well. And Canet's not even in the top 5, is he? Is he still behind McPhee and Martin? Not seen any movement for the double champ. Let's go into the left-hander. I used to really hate this circuit in the older MotoGP games, but I've grown to kind of like it now. It's okay. I think it's because the opponents were a bit harder in previous games as well. And as you saw in this game, into that double right. They do like a good old dive bomb. It looks like they've eased that back in the latest patch, maybe Milestone have. So yeah, I don't mind this circuit. As I said, in real life, it's probably some decent races, so I don't mind it in real life. Even though it's very much in the shadow, but it's much longer and bigger brother. Let's look at this. MacDonald definitely building the gap, even though making a mistake into that chicane. Almost 2 seconds there with the battling pair behind of Mir and Fenati. Let's get on the power. I'm recording this on the Sunday of the Czech Grand Prix as well, where we saw a masterclass from Marquez. Not just pace rise, but strategy rise as well. in the MotoGP race, and we saw in Moto2 a masterclass from Thomas Luthi after a 6-lap. It turned into a 6-lap sprint race of that Moto2 race after rain fell. And unlike MotoGP where it's flag to flag, Moto2 isn't. I wonder if that's going to be changed soon. He's got over a 2-second lead over Mir and Fenati. And then in Moto3 we saw a masterclass from Mir, who won ahead of Fenati. As those two are battling in the championship, but it definitely looks like it's the Spaniards to lose at the moment. It's a handy gap in the championship. He's all got slightly wide in the second right-hander there, does MacDonald. But maybe just picking up some rain as well, you know, cool the tyres down. But you can see tyre wear is not an issue at all in the bottom right. Braking a bit early into the first left, but then that sets you up for the right. And it's all about taking that left, you know, a bit slower, so you can set up the right, go a bit faster, and carry the speed into this right-hander. You know, it's actually a good chicane. Unlike most chicanes, where it's just, you know, left, right. That's actually a good chicane. It actually causes, you know, some deviation from the first to second part. It's very nice. You can, as I said, lead into a run into that second right-hander. You can maybe make a move like Rossi attempted on Vinales in real life this year. Or you could defend well as well. It's all sliding the bike into the first corner. That's not how you're meant to do it, MacDonald. So he rejoins the circuit. No time penalty. Very lucky on this penultimate lap. They may cost him the lead though. Or some of the lead. Let's see. 2.8 ahead of Mir. And this is the conditions where Mir started, you know, close that gap to MacDonald in Argentina. So you can't afford another mistake like that. Lucky he built up a good enough cushion in this race, MacDonald. As Fenati still in third. And behind Mir, as I said in real life as well. Look how realistic this game is. Of course, they don't have an angry Scott leading in Moto3, but you never know what the McPhee can do. He's fourth in the championship, finished fourth in the race as well today, if I remember correctly. Pretty good recovery ride as well, after not the best qualifying for him. But after falling away after a pretty good start, McPhee, he has gained it back in the championship. He may be too far back to challenge for the actual championship, but you never know. Could be top 3. Maybe not. At least top 5, which would be pretty decent for him, I would say, considering the year he's had. As he gone to the final lap of the race, it's MacDonald leading from Mir by 3.2 seconds. He's not gaining that. Closing that gap is the Spaniard. And I'm being terrible with my word phrasing at the moment in these last couple of videos, but I'm calling this at the end of the Sunday. It's been a very long Sunday, so I do apologise for that. I'm saying phrases which are a bit weird. I'm trying to make full sentences that you've seen in Kota or Jerez, which I've got before this. As you've got Mir gaining 0.3 of a second in that first set, but again it's probably too late for the Spaniard. It's again slightly wide in that left-hander. Not the best on a dry track with wet tyres is MacDonald. But he has gained back that time in half a second actually on Mir in that previous sectors. Oh, Guevara's down the Spaniard. Doesn't know he was going to score points anyway, but still disappointing to fall in a race, as MacDonald knows very well the previous couple of races. But he has not made a mistake here. Well, he's made a couple of mistakes, but he's not fallen, which is the main thing for MacDonald. We come to the end of the final lap. He's got 3.5 seconds. He's actually building that lead on this final lap compared to Argentina, where Mir gained it back slightly. About to see the difference in opponent's difficulty, perhaps there. Let's go for the final couple right-handers here. Easy on the power. As we motor towards the line, it's another victory for MacDonald. 3 from 5. And definitely a return to form as he wins by over 4 seconds in the end. Really built that gap on the final lap ahead of Fanati. Where's Mir? Martin 3rd. McPhee 4th. Bulliger 5th. Magello 6th. Otel 7th. Canet down in 8th. He's doing his best Franco Morbidelli impression, and it's like where the Moto2 leader in real life finished down in 8th in the Moto2 race and really opened up that championship. Has Canet done that? As well, even though it's a bit early in the championship compared to real life where it's around round 11. This is only round 5. But still, poor result for Canet down there in 8th. Antonelli 9th. Bastianini 10th. Di Gianantonio 11th. Lloyd 12th. Binder 13th. Danilo 14th. There's Mir in 15th. He must have fallen on that final lap. And those final couple of corners. He was right behind. He's still behind us heading into that final sector. Gonna look back on the replay at that. As Rodrigo 16th, Nuruddin 17th, Kornfeld top Persia in 18th, Suzuki 9th, and Herrera rounding out the top 20. As next best Mahindra goes to the Italian 21st, Kumar in 25th. He likes these conditions. I didn't think our teammates did, but it looks like he does like these drying track conditions. Up to 25th. Nice result for the teammate with Fitzpatrick in last. As in the championship has opened up. Look at that, MacDonald just 4 points back now after that win. Well, there's a bit of a gap to McPhee in the 3rd. He comes ahead of Mir after that mysterious fall at the end of the race. Bulliger in 5th, Martin 6th, Fanati 7th, Anthony 8th, Magello up to 9th, and Otel up into the top 10 ahead of Bastianini. Lloyd up to 13th ahead of Guevara after the Spaniard had a fall as well. And Binder, the newest point scorer this season, in 18th as he climbs ahead of Rodrigo and Suzuki. As looking further down, our teammates ahead of Arenas again, back up to 28th. As in the constructors' standings, Honda's lead is cut back slightly by Mahindra, but still it's over a race win, 26 points, 110 plays, 84. With KTM in 3rd on 66 and Peugeot yet to score. As yes, there's a very happy MacDonald and the clones to the right hand side as well. As in the background you can see Fanati and Martin exchanging notes, and here come the crazy eyes again. Yes, number 1. As we unlock 3 new riders now, historic races, and in 2 more races to win. And then we get Andrea Dovizioso from a decade ago when he was on the Honda. A fresh-faced MotoGP rider back then, as well as both riders achieved the race objective for the first time this season. Good job from Kumar from the back row from last. Up into 25th. His race objective changed down for this race, didn't it? Well, look at MacDonald from the 5th row to the top, and he's almost in the top in the championship as well. As MacDonald improves his braking and throttle management, and Kumar improves his braking, throttle management, and body position. And look at all those credits and reputation we have earned as well. So before we go, there's another activity day. As we're around 1/3 of the way through the season now. It really does fly by. As we can choose a sponsor event and earn 3,000 credits. Go to a gala evening, get 400 reputation. Do a prize competition, get 100% fixed sponsor reward from your sponsors in the next race. Or do a TV program, get 100% reputation bonus based on your place in the next race. So often I go for the credits in these things, don't I? Let's go for reputation for once. We saw how it cost us heading into this season of whether we can do a full Moto2 season. So let's do a gala evening or TV program. And I think we'll go with the TV program. I think that'll earn us more reputation than the gala evening, just a fixed 400 reputation there. I think if we do the TV program, if we do well, which I expect around Magello, we get much more reputation. As next time out, you've already heard, we're heading to unlucky week 13, but a very lucky Autodrome del Mugello circuit for Dan MacDonald and Elusive has been kind to them in the past, will be kind once again next time out. So for watching and find out then.